So next on our list is going to be starting to collect data. Hopefully you're well on your way to getting your methods written, as well as started to do some pilot testing. And so the next step will be, how are we going to actually collect the data itself? And so we need to create a data collection sheet. So we've got various instruments that we will be using, and unless those instruments can directly export into our spreadsheet, we're going to need to have some way to collect that data and record it so that way we can import it into our Excel spreadsheet. Now, that being said, it's worth taking a good look at how your Excel spreadsheet is going to be used for your stats. So talk with whoever's going to be helping you do your stats with how you should organize your Excel spreadsheet. But at the same point in time, you need to figure out how you're going to get the data from the instruments to that Excel spreadsheet. Now, there's two conflicting things. You want to both decrease the number of times that you actually have to handle the data, because that will increase the number of errors. If you have to type the data in and handwrite it multiple times or transpose it from one place to the next, that adds the ability for the data to be corrupted somehow. But at the same note, you also need to create a system that will allow you to gather that data in real time, so that way you don't have to be looking back for it later. So you need to have some level of convenience to grab the data, but also some control over how many times you do it. So let's take a look at just an example of a data collection sheet that I've used in the past. And so this is a data collection sheet that I created for this graded exercise test that is preceded by a 20-minute workout. So during orientation day, we collect some of the baseline measurements that'll be the same regardless, and we also record, in this case, the bike seat height. You need to be able to record and monitor any setup specific things that you use, whether you use a different size of a cuff or something different like that. You need to make sure that that's as similar as possible. So in this case, we actually measure the height of the bike seat stem in centimeters, so that way it can be the same over and over. Then we have a situation here where we have some things written out for ourselves in this graded exercise test. So in this graded exercise test, they start with a 4-minute warm-up, and then we're going to increase the watts every minute while recording heart rate, their RPE, a rating of thermal comfort, and their feeling score. That's what these abbreviations mean. And I have each of those created in sheets of paper that they put up on the wall, and the heart rate is being measured by a heart rate monitor. So that way, when I call 4 minutes, we can write down from the heart rate monitor what their heart rate is at that point, and then we ask them to give us these scores off of the sheets of paper from the wall. So they will just start with the RPE, give us a number, give us the thermal comfort number, and then their feeling score number. And so they can continue to do that over and over for as long as they can maintain that. At the end of the test, right, so they will go however long they can. At the end of the test, we record the total exercise time, right, their peak watts that they were able to maintain at 60%, and we use this later, is why we've got that. Also their heart rate, their RPE, thermal comfort, feeling score again, but then we increase the number of things that we got. So we've got lactate and glucose measures from lactate and glucose meters, their blood pressure from an automatic blood pressure cuff, Their average cadence, average power, and total distance comes from the exercise bike. And so all of these different things are things that we can analyze. So within our IRB, we identified these as things that we would like to analyze. But at the same point in time, during your pilot testing, there might be some other things that you identify that are already being recorded and you're getting data from that doesn't require any additional effort or additional things from the subject. And so you can record those as well. You want to record as much information as possible. Sometimes this can be done through just printout. Sometimes you can get real-time measurements with different aspects as well. But as you go through and perform these different tasks, you need to be able to collect that data. And so a form that allows you to easily write that in real time is the best way that I found to do it. Trying to type directly into the Excel spreadsheet is helpful because you see the data less, but it usually slows you down too much to be worth it. If you write it down on one sheet of paper and you keep this in a binder or something, it's de-identified, right? There are no names, just subject numbers. I can double check when I insert that data to make sure it's accurate. So what I would like you to do over the course of this week while you're pilot testing, start to create your own data collection sheet for how you're going to go about collecting data. If you have questions, you can always ask me. Otherwise, work directly with whoever is supervising your research to create that data sheet. Thanks.